Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I'll be looking at Asphalt Legends and giving you my first impressions of the game and what it feels like to pick up and play. First of all, Asphalt Legends is a free-to-play game on both the PS3 and PS4, so you can pick this up tomorrow from the PlayStation Store free of charge. That does, however, mean that there are quite a few mechanics in this game that do want you to pay money for them. So far, I've felt the game was okay without having to pay for anything, so you can find your way through the game probably in a decent amount of time without having to interact with any of the mechanics. Although, I'm sure as I get later in the game, those mechanics may become a bit more like they're needed, but for the moment, I'm actually managing the game okay, these first impressions. If you don't like that kind of thing, you'll probably get annoyed by the amount of different types of monetary kind of things that there are. There are essentially like 3 or 4 different currencies within this game, as well as some cards to collect for cars and stuff. So, like I said, if you don't like transactional things, you're going to get very annoyed at this game very quickly. I'm kind of used to them as I've played free games on mobile, so I'm used to having to watch advertisements, etc. There are no advertisements in this, to be honest, but yeah, there are quite a lot of in-game currencies to deal with, and quite a lot of pop-ups each time you finish a race or you are doing something specific. So the first thing you're greeted with is a nice little tutorial that teaches you how to play the game. The only strange bit is that L1 is the drift button, which is kind of unusual. Usually brake to drift in all racing games, but this one it's L1. The physics are quite strange. So while you drift, it does feel a little bit unnatural and a little bit strange. And the physics overall are not almost walking a line between sort of an arcade style and a realistic style. I'm not sure whether I actually like them, to be honest. I've played the Burnout games for previous consoles. It does remind me a little bit of those type of games, but not as, almost they were a bit more realistic rather than this is a bit more towards the arcadey side. A bit like Burnout as well, you could also take down your opponents by ramming into them, so it does really remind me of that franchise. I do wish we had more Burnout games. I really enjoyed them for the mainly for the PlayStation 2. I think Burnout Revenge was probably my favourite one. So when you finish the tutorial, you'll see that you get back into the main menu where there are lots of locked events that you can't quite do yet. You have to start progressing through the career mode in order to start opening up those events. So we'll go into that first. You're automatically given a car, I think it's a Mitsubishi Lancer, that you're automatically kind of gifted at the start of the game. You do have quite a few credits as well. So what I would suggest you do is start to upgrade that Mitsubishi as soon as you can, because that will just make the races a little bit easier. Obviously get more credits for winning each race. As you go through the campaign, you try and get as many flags as possible from each event. So the flags represent finishing in the top 3, usually for one of them, and there's sometimes 1 or 2 other flags for doing various other little bits within the event itself. So there are plenty of flags on offer, and we'll go through the career mode. There are 6 actual career paths at the moment, if you like. I guess they could add more. This game is kind of ever growing. I don't think they stop updating it, so it's a kind of always online, always updated kind of game. There are a couple of strange mechanics in the game as well, so you can press square twice to pivot your car around in a 360. This does help in gaining boost and taking down other opponents, but it's kind of a bit of a strange mechanic that you wouldn't do in real life, so you can use it to get as much boost as you want, but yeah, it's a little bit strange. Ideally, you would try and win each race to make it easier for you, and I think there is a trophy for winning a set amount of races anyway, so you want to try and knock that out of the park as soon as you can. Although, like I said, there is a lot of races to go at on this game, as it's quite well developed in terms of its environment. If you're looking to trophy hunt this game, most of the trophies look remarkably easy. There are more trophies on the PS5 version than the PS4 version. So if you're just looking at the base PS4 version, you should be able to get most of the trophies pretty easily. There are a couple of what look like grindy trophies that obviously I haven't got on to doing them yet. I only played for around an hour and a half, so I did manage to unlock I think 8 or 9 of the trophies though in that time. So you are greeted with easy trophies to start with, but then like I said, there are a couple of ones that require you to get to a certain amount of wins and a certain amount of career races, I think. So I guess a nice mix there to keep you just playing on through while also giving you some trophies to start with. At the end, I will dip into the PS5 version a little bit and tell you some concerns I have about the trophies auto unlocking, because I know I got some trophies but didn't get others that I was expecting to with the way the game works. So because it's an always online game, your save does transfer between the PS4 and the PS5 version. And when I went onto the PS5 version and finished my first race, I got quite a lot of auto unlock trophies, but then there were some, like for finishing my first career championship, that didn't unlock. So I was a little bit concerned that might be a little bit harder to unlock. And I think attain level 5 garage status as well, that one also didn't unlock. So we'll have to see if that kind of pops when I get to level 6. However, that's something I'm going to have to look at going forwards. Like most games these days, there's sets of challenges to obtain, so make sure you clear the daily challenges, or make sure you look at these regularly to see what you've got, and then obviously collect the rewards as they become available. Obviously this will help you progress quicker towards the end. As you can see now, we just go back to the main menu, and then we navigate into the area where you can see your challenges and your daily events that we've completed highlighted at the top, and then we'll just go and collect all the rewards from these events. Actually, now in the main menu, once you go back there, you'll be able to see that we've actually unlocked some different events from that menu. So we'll have a look at what's in the daily events. These are kind of regular updated events where you use usually a specific car. There is one already open. When you do start the game, you obviously don't have a lot of the cars in the garage, and these daily events do require you to have unlocked a specific car, and this is the bit where you could end up buying what's called blueprints, which will allow you to unlock the car and then do more of the daily events. As I won't be actually using any of the monetary microtransaction things within this game, I'm hoping to complete it without actually spending any money, which might be a challenge or might not. We'll see how far we get through after this first impression. I'll try and keep you updated on my progress on this game. So we're going to undertake this Porsche event, which is free to try. So we are given the car at this point, so this does allow us to upgrade this car. So it does mean spending some money that you probably won't then get back, because this car will then be locked if you don't have the blueprints for it. But as you could see at the start, there is a league table, so the faster you are within the group of people, the better the rewards. So I start off and my first race isn't that great, obviously, so the idea of this mode is that you keep upgrading the car, you keep getting faster, you keep getting more towards the top of the leaderboard. The more time that you actually spend, the more you learn the course, and then the more obviously you'll gain once this daily race finishes. So I would advise this as a way of quickly earning extra credits or earning extra other items, and obviously these do refresh quite regularly, so it should allow you to play something different every day if you are going to log on and play it every day. So as you'll be able to see by the end of this little bit of the video, I managed to get from being in the 90% bracket all the way up to the 40% bracket just in like 4 or 5 races, using the upgrades to make the car better and also learning the track. So that it's quite easy to gain forward momentum. I guess if I keep playing I would get more towards the top if I had the right amount of skill. Probably by the time you get to sort of the 10-15% area, it's going to be pretty hard to advance beyond that, but the rewards are really quite good. So if you are going to be playing this game every day, there are a lot of rewards out there. It does reward you for playing every day as well. So now we're going to look at the PS5 version just to kind of prove that the gameplay actually carries over between the two consoles. So you can see that the first championship is already completed, which I did on PS4, and the second championship is just about to start. So what you have to be careful with is a couple of the trophies, as I mentioned earlier. When we go and look in the actual trophy deck of those that auto-popped, one for winning your first championship didn't actually pop up, so it may be that we actually have to win the first one on the PS5 for it to activate. There isn't a lot of difference between the PS5 version and the PS4 version, other than the PS5 obviously a little bit sharper and the loading times are a little bit reduced. Overall, there isn't much difference in the PS5 and PS4 versions other than the loading times, and the graphics are a little sharper on the PS5 as you'd expect. I'm going to give this game a 6 out of 10. It's got a lot of potential. It is quite an interesting racing game, but it does get a little bit repetitive, so I imagine I'm going to have to only play it for a certain amount of time each day, which is kind of how the game wants you to play anyway. So yeah, let's see how we get on with the rest of this game. I hope you've enjoyed this How To Trophies first look at Asphalt Legends. Hope to see you soon. Take care. And remember to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.